Okay, so good evening. Gonna play three games tonight. I'm gonna play Canyon Bomber, Super Breakout, and Defender. Um, Canyon Bomber and Super Breakout are paddle-controlled games, and Defender is a joystick. Um, Hopefully everything is gonna go good. I think the audio level for my voice is good, so made some changes to my computer today, so hopefully everything will work. Did a little testing after I set it up, and I think it's okay. So first, we'll go over the Canyon Bomber game. So it was released in 1979. So this is the first game that wasn't part of the initial release. The controller, like I said, is the paddles, and it was ported to the 2600 from an arcade game that was basically made in 1977. And David Crane actually did the porting. And I know I mentioned yesterday, David Crane is Activision. He's one of the starters of David Crane or of Activision, and he made a bunch of games that people really like for Activision. So, Canyon Bomber is really not that exciting. Like I said, these early games are relatively simple in nature, and the games got more complex as time went on. Basically, in this game, you drop bombs to destroy rocks in a canyon, and then there's another version where you drop them on ships, but you have to aim, so it's a little more difficult. The first game is just basically, if you can time dropping your bombs at the right time to get more blocks. There's one player versions and two player versions, and it's an okay game. The VGR ratings for this game, the graphics is rated a 3, which is decent graphics, and then the playability is a 2. It says dry, brief enjoyment, and I guess that summarizes it pretty well. I played it a little bit in prep for this, and you know, it was pretty simple. It's a pretty simple game. So we'll go over the manual now. First, I'll shut off the static, and then I'll turn on. Okay, so got my trusty paddle controllers here. I drop them. Okay, move this out of the way. Bear with me a couple seconds. Okay, Canyon Bomber. So I don't know which one of these paddles is the Canyon Bomber paddle controller, or which one, because I think they're different for this game versus Super Breakout. They're all twisted. That was the problem with the paddles. There's two paddles in one plug, so you could get a total of 4 players. Some games took advantage of that, like Warlords, but the controllers and the wires always got confused with each other. So first, I'm just gonna test. So I'm gonna go to game 2 since. Okay. Okay. So I think this one is the one I want. The green one. Okay, so turn it off, reset the game. So I don't know if you're familiar. Atari's had a color black and white switch, because back in the day when this came out, some people only had black and white televisions, and I think it had trouble with the color background. So we'll start this, and you'll see this computer. It just continues to drop bombs because the misses don't count against it. So. Computer's beating me. Oh no, another miss. caused me to miss. I think the computer's gonna win. Oh, it's another miss. That's it. Computer beat me. So, like I said, it's pretty simple. I mean, you're just pushing a button. That's it. So game 3 is a single player again. So let's try this one. So that was a miss. He's killing me. Because his misses don't count against him. It's probably real easy when you just continue to drop bombs and don't have to worry about aiming them. I beat it in practice, I swear. So, that's it. 5 was a 2-player game. 7 was a 1-player game. So this is the one, like I said. So see, you know, these paddles are real old and dusty, so the controls aren't the best. But you see I'm moving the line up and down. So you line it up with a boat, and then you drop your bomb. So we'll see how this one goes. Man, computer's good. Oh. Oh. This is tough because you're going in at different speeds. And I got that guy. Nope. Yeah, and it's when you release it. It doesn't... Oh. If I'd have just aimed lower. Got lucky. Come on. Man, he's catching up. He's beating me. I gotta get some points here. Dang, missed that opportunity. Ooh, got lucky there. Ah, it screwed me there. See, the thing that sucks is you can't see his. God, all of a sudden the computer's just killing me. Ugh. It just seems like his anytime. Uh, Damn. Damn it. I gotta hit some deep boats. He's gonna kill me. Yeah, 1,000 points. Well, that was it. That was it, basically. You know, there's this airplane bombing runs, and there's different varieties of it, but one, you know, I think the first game you just cleared, so I'll just put it on 2-player. That's a 2-player game. So this one, I think it's unlimited bombs. And they regenerate. It says they drop from the sky, but it looks more like they regenerate. I mean, they fall. They're falling there like it's Tetris almost. But this goes either to 1,000 points. I think it's just 1,000 points. Or 6 misses. I don't know, because he's got no misses. Maybe every time he goes through and doesn't hit it, it counts as a miss. Maybe that's what it counts as a miss, is if you go through a run and you don't hit anything. But when I was playing against a computer, it seemed like it was legit, like you dropped a bomb and it didn't hit anything. Yeah, that's game. So that's it for Canyon Bomber. Really not that exciting, but you know, at the time, like I said, these were excellent games. So now we're going to talk about Super Breakout. I'll turn that on. So I did not have this game as a kid, and I didn't know anyone who had it. My cousin had Breakaway 4, which was a Sears telegame. So Super Breakout came out in 1982, and Breakaway 4 came out in 1981. Sears had an exclusive on it. Breakaway 4 was a little different, but pretty much the same concept. It was basically Pong with yourself against the wall, and you break tiles. And, you know, there's 3 different modes. Well, there's 4. There's basically you have a single paddle, or single, you know, I'll call it a paddle. You have a single paddle, and then with that paddle, you bounce the ball. Then there's the double paddle, where you have 2 paddles, and I think you have 2 balls too. And so that gets complicated, and your reaction time has to be faster. But, you know, when it comes down to 1 ball, you basically have a little bit of a handicap, because if you miss it with the top paddle, it almost assuredly will hit the bottom paddle. Then there's a cavity game, where there's 2 balls that are trapped inside pockets in the wall, and so you break away the tiles until the ball comes free, and so then you can get 2 and even 3 balls bouncing around at the same time. I really don't last that long with two. And then there's progressive, where the wall advances downward step by step. Um, there is something that the Breakaway 4 had that this didn't have, and Breakaway 4 you could capture the ball, and so maybe that's in Breakout, and not super Breakout, um, but we'll see when I play that. I haven't played these games in a while, so I don't recall that. So VGR's rating for this game, the graphics was a 3, which is decent graphics, and the playability was 4 for fun. And it is a fun game, and it was kind of a fan favorite. Um, but it's a very simple game. You know, kind of like Tetris is a simple game. You know, it's simple but it's fun, and it's colorful, and so people really enjoyed it. And it's there's one player and two player games. We'll see that in the instructions, but it the games were competitive, and yet you could play it by yourself. So this is now we're seeing Atari get into, and oh, this was released in 1981. Or sorry, let's scroll up here on my notes. This game was released in 1982, 1981 for Sears. So this is a little further along. 77 was the original launch. So now we're seeing more one-player games and more stuff where kids can play it by themselves. So let me get a drink of Kool-Aid here. Here we're in the game, and apologize for the background not being lit up very well. Kind of was running late today, so let's just go through the game. So game 1, game 3. Let's go to game 8 first, since this is the children's version. Okay, so yeah, so this paddle, you see that it jumps quite a bit, and as a kid I would try to move it too fast, and you skip through the whole screen. So the key to this is just nice, fluid, steady movements. So we push the button to launch the ball. My guess is, see, I'm terrible. And I think as it hits the higher up colors that are worth more points, it starts to go faster. There, the game just kind of bailed me out. I did it again. Hits on the side of the paddle. Oh, those steep angles are rough. Oh, I'm terrible. By the way, the TV that you see here in the background, or is the overlay, that actually is a picture of the 13-inch television I got when I was, I think, 13 years old. My parents got it for me. It was a color Montgomery Ward's television. I still have it, and it's so old, there's not even a coax connector on it. It's 2 screws on the back that you screwed your antenna into. So it was that was really where I played a lot of my Atari, was on this particular television. My mom and dad let us play it on the main TV, but when my dad got home, it was no more games, no more playtime. And so then when Atari fell out of favor too, I started playing it in my room. So I put it in my bedroom. So I'm going to start with the regular game, not the children's version. So here we go. We'll go through all the varieties of this game. Ugh, I'm not even looking at what I'm doing. All right, let me reset this because I just lost 2 balls that I didn't need to because I wasn't paying attention. Uh, you know, the more you played this, the more you knew where the balls would go based on their trajectory. So it doesn't help that the controllers are all old and dusty. The contacts aren't that clean, so it might jump. That was my fault. That was not a joke. Oh God, I'm terrible. So like I said, I feel like I do better with the two because if I miss on the top one, it you got the back one bailing you out. Okay. See, now the angle is steeper and it gets a little more difficult. At least in my opinion, it does. Doing a little better, not much. Same problems I always had as a kid. I hit up against the wall. That was smart. So I hit up against the wall, and then by the time you try to bounce back off of it, terrible. All right, I'm trying to see the time. Terrible. So yeah, so you see at the top, there's the 5-1. So this is game 5. It's one player. So here's the trap balls. So this just gives you one when you shoot it. Where the hell did it go? I lost track of it. I honestly lost that. So it shot through, and I was expecting it to get trapped in there, but it didn't. It came back through. And that shot out fast. So there it bailed me out. Terrible. I'm terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. Game 6 is 2-player. Game 7 is 1-player. So this is the progressive game. I knew I was in the wrong spot, but I didn't know how to fix it. What I recognize that I do, I follow the ball, not the paddle with my eyes. And that's the problem. If you look at where the paddle is, you know how to steer it. So then it moved down, the bottom row is green now. So I got rid of all of them. Move down again. Oh, I was doing a little better in that game. So that's basically Super Breakout. This was a later game. It was actually, I think it came out after Breakout, but it's a lower cartridge number, so I'm reviewing it earlier. It's pretty simple, like all these games, but it provided hours of enjoyment when it was you were a kid and you were looking for something to do. So anyway, so the last game I'm gonna play today is Defender, and this game we did have in our home. This actually, my older brother played Defender quite a bit. That's really the one game that he got into. I'm going to take the paddles off here. You can see it's kind of a bulky controller set. You got these two paddles floating out here. And not that joysticks are any less bulky, but, sorry, it's a mess in here. Like I said, I was kind of rushed today, so didn't get very well organized. But I'll connect this controller and then we'll talk about Defender. That's an advantage that the systems had later on. Like you think about the Nintendo Entertainment System, you connect the controllers on the front. A lot of games now connect the controllers on the front, or they're wireless. And that was something that Atari, you had to go to the back of the machine all the time. So you couldn't, with the Atari, you couldn't leave it in one spot, in your entertainment center. You always had to pull it out. And it came with this really long cord because they knew kids would be doing that. You'd have to sit away from the television and you'd pull the console out in front of you, lay all your cartridges out on the carpet, and pick the game you wanted to play. So I'll turn on Defender. Uh-oh. Did I pull the power cord out? There we go. So It says here, Defender is a 1981 game as well. So, information about Defender, like I said, it's 1981. You play it with a joystick. It's a two-dimensional side-scrolling shooting game. The object is to destroy the alien invaders while protecting the astronauts on the landscape from abductions. Humans that are abducted are returned as mutants that attack the ship. The game really wasn't popular at first, but eventually it found its followers, and I think it basically was popular with older kids. And so, like I said, my older brother played it a lot, and his friends played it a lot. They had Defender, and but me and my friends, we played it, but it wasn't a favorite of ours. So let me go to this. So Atari Age did not have the instructions, so I downloaded them from archive.org, and thanks to them for putting these out there and making them a free download. I will again cut them from the video, but it is appreciated because the instructions, without the instructions, some of these games are difficult to play. So let's go. I gotta admit, this game is a lot more fun than I remember it being as a kid. I know it was a big arcade game. Maybe as a kid I was just too impatient. I'm also playing the kids version right now. One complete. Oh, this is 2-player. Well, we don't need that. Game 12, 2, 2, 2, 2. So I think it's just they all repeat. These are all 1-player. So this is like the alien wave, I think it's called. They come fast. I must have picked a very fast one. Oh, I couldn't even outrun him. Boy, that one was ridiculous. So here we are over the city. Alright, I don't know if I can manage this speed. What was it, game 10? That was it. I'll just stick at this one. Oh, I just noticed I switched to the clean stream on this one. I'm going to switch to my regular one. I like the other one better. Nostalgia. No, wave 1 is finished. So like I said, this is how I played when I was a kid. Alright, so we're going to go back. I'm going to edit all that out. So this is Defender. We'll play the children's version, which is game 10. And we'll see how we do. Terrible. don't know how to do the smart bombs. I should probably look at the instructions to figure that out. Could probably be useful the further you go through the game. Smart bombs, I believe, destroy everything on the screen. Woo! Messed that one up. Phase 1 is complete. What happened? Well, great. Well, that's basically the game. There's really not a whole heck of a lot to it. There's just different speeds. And then right here you see it's the second level of games. It's just 2 players, so you switch back and forth between them. So we'll go to the regular game one. See how it goes. Oh, man. If I remember correctly, I think my brother and his friends used to play this like you play Pitfall and go the opposite direction. Somebody's picking somebody up. So that guy was returned safely. Oh, somebody's picking somebody up again. Wave 1 is complete. I don't know. I didn't notice much difference between that and the children's version. I'll be honest. Moved up last second. I like how your laser looks in this game. Oh, somebody's picking somebody up. So they died. So I guess it was too high. Wave 2 is finished. Bomber. He's leaving some ridiculous bombs out here. Whoa! Alright, now it got tougher. Well, and it's game's done. So it's basically what Defender is. You know, speeds change. Things come faster, things will go slower, but that's basically what the game is. This was a little bit of a step up from the normal games. It's a little more fun, and as I'm older now playing it, it's a lot more fun than some of those other games I've played already. Even Super Breakout. Super Breakout had a large following because the challenge in clearing the tiles. But a game like this, it's different. It's not predictable. It requires some skill and a little bit of luck too at the same time. So I see why this game gained in popularity as the system got older. So that's all for my stream today. Hope you enjoyed be playing the games. I'll be back tomorrow and Friday this week. Um, Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. It's March 17th, so happy St. Patrick's Day. Drink a green beer if you can, and please stay safe, and wash your hands and social distance and all the things required. And I will see you again next time.